Oh, you love to see it, don't you? Oh, you absolutely love to see it. Concord is not merely a failure. It is not simply a flop. Oh, no. These mere words singularly fail to describe the sheer magnitude of the losses about to impact both Firewalk Studios, which is simply just not going to be a studio for much longer, but also Sony as well. Oh, this is the German army at Stalingrad. This is the Titanic seeing something bobbing in the water ahead of it and thinking, oh well, we're unsinkable, right? This is that one Japanese guy looking up at the sky as the Enola Gay goes by. That is Concord. It peaked at 697 players. For your reference, that is less than Lord of the Rings Gollum achieved. That legendarily awful game. And again, for further reference, what is the other single greatest flop of 2024? What kind of a metric are we looking up here? Well, what about the Suicide Squad? Well, Concord, with its 697, makes the Suicide Squad looks like the hottest, most attractive premier prostitute during Super Bowl season at 13,459. That's 13,000 very unfortunate individuals who were fooled, and hopefully will never be tricked quite so thoroughly ever again. And the best part, the piece de resistance, is Concord has been in development for 8 years. Lead developer says Firewalk Studio is strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. Oh, God, yes. Lord Almighty, let it be so. I want this game to have another 8 years life cycle. I want this to be the single largest ulcer to Sony in human history since Napoleon looked south and wondered what the Spanish were up to. Oh, it's magnificent. It is every bit the lesson I wanted it to be. If this cannot make it sink in that butt ugly ass, diverse, old characters are simply not a way to sell a game, I don't know what possibly could. I mean, this is a neutron star density lesson right here. Even the video game industry could not possibly miss this one. And there are better things yet. Oh, so we've got to compare this, of course, to another game that came out a little bit previously, Black Myth Wukong, with a fairly humble 10 million units sold and 3 million concurrent. A game that led with no feminist propaganda. This is truly one of the better days in human history, I think. The sheer, again, the effect this is almost undoubtedly going to have on gaming at large is going to be remarkable. And it gets better. Oh yes, it actually does. So the LGBT and politics tags were removed and blacklisted. Now, allegedly, this is simply just a Steam forum post here claiming this. The developers made a big deal about this game being for the modern audience, all 600 of them, 696 to be fair, but for some reason demanded Steam to not only remove these two tags, but also blacklist them plus any similar tags. Okay, now, the tag system on Steam functions via a popular vote. So people, go in the game, they click on the tags, and they vote for what seems most appropriate. And LGBT is not there. Now, I tested this and added my own tag, of course, because it is a very queer game, made, I am sure the developers would agree, by a very queer team, and is only fitting. Now, the politics tag is there still. It wasn't actually visible on the game, mind you, but at least that is still there, whereas the LGBTQ is no longer there. So, it has been added, because this one popped up 8 hours ago, so preceding this one, which is 2 hours old. LGBTQ plus tag. They added LGBTQ tag seriously. Now again, the developers didn't add this. The people who were voting on the tag system added this, and then it was removed. Now, theoretically, technically, it is conceivable that the people who added the tag thought to themselves, oh, well, that's a little cruel. It's already a failure. Why hammer home the point? And went and untagged it. Because you can untag the tag you have added. But is that a particularly likely scenario? No, it is not. It is an exceedingly unlikely one. So, it might just be then, it is entirely possible, more likely I would say, that the developers of this truly remarkable piece of entertainment went in, looked at it, and thought to themselves, this will do us no favors. None whatsoever. Can we please remove this, Steam? Hey, Steam, could we get this tag removed? We think it's not only misleading, but we think it's probably gonna sink us even harder than we've already been sunk. As at this point, the best thing that the Concord developers can possibly, conceivably hope of is that somebody purchases their video game by mistake. It is that they will put it on such an enormous sale that people will see it and go, wow, those screenshots looks kind of pretty. It's like some kind of hero shooter. It's like, yeah, it's like Overwatch, which will probably be in the description of the video game, I have no doubt. And they will then go, oh, well, that sounds fun, and they click on it. That is the best case scenario for the developer, assuming they'll still be in existence in, hell, 6 months? Oh, let's not be so optimistic. 6 weeks is probably what I'd give the developer at this point, but God help me. I hope that this guy, the developer here, I hope he has pictures. I hope he has pictures of every single Sony board member in women's underwear being beaten by a collection of dominatrixes. That is what I desire. That is what I wish for. I hope he has so much blackmail material on Sony that it would make the entirety of the hentai community in Japan blush. That is what I hope, because God, this game needs just an 8-year life cycle. This needs to become a legend told in boardrooms across the earth. This needs to be a horror tale taught by the new leading group of Sony executives to every other group of boardroom people all across the world. Hey, do you remember Concord? Yes, we're still contractually obligated to support it. Never, ever, ever do anything even remotely like this. It has cost us billions. God, I hope so. I mean, Suicide Squad left a $200 million hole in its wake, and it was only developed for, what was it, 4-5 years? And it had a much better launch, much better sales, 10 times better sales. Whilst this thing, for 8 years? As the saying goes, I can only get so erect. Remember. Okay, we're gonna talk about another article, probably next week, I think, as one of the interesting things in relations to that game that didn't flop is, of course, that the progressives have this remarkable ability to attack a thing, continuously attack it, defame it, go like it's made by sexist fatphobes, etc., and then the moment it becomes a success, they will then turn around and go, oh, that thing. Oh no, it's totally it's our thing. Yes, it's actually on our side, or at the very least, it's value neutral. You see, there is an article going. Oh, what was it? Black myth Wukong is attracting the wrong kind of fans, which of course has a nice big segment on you shouldn't dislike diversity. Diversity is great! Developers, you must understand, if you had made your game diverse, it would have sold twice as many copies, because there's twice as many women out there, you see. Oh yes, tell me again how economically beneficial diversity is. Ooh, I imagine man, we recently had the example of the acolyte, and merely within, within a week or so, the acolyte, a failure of that magnitude, has been eclipsed by a greater one. We certainly are spoiled for examples, and hey, that's a good thing, right? Oh yeah, this has been a very good week. A very good week. Until next time, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Give yourself a pat on the back yet again. The Acolyte, Black Myth Wukong, and this, all within just a couple of weeks. Man, if we win any harder, I have a sneaky suspicion we might all warp into the Trumphaluphagus himself. Have a good day.